You got three lanes here. You got what the committee will do, my committee. You got Mr. Durham, who's looking at criminality. He's the U.S. Attorney in Connecticut. And you got the Horowitz, the Inspector General report, that I think will be coming out in weeks, not days, not months. And I believe the Horowitz report is going to be ugly and damning regarding the Department of Justice handling of the Russian probe. I'm going to meet with the Attorney General next week. I want to declassify as much as possible. I want the American public to hear the story. I want all this information to come out. I don't want people to believe what I say about it. I want them to read for themselves how bad it was. The warrant application to the FISA court, I think, was, quite frankly, a fraud on the court.
A fraud on the court. There was Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Lindsey Graham on this program last week, updating us on the multiple investigations into the alleged FISA abuse and potential wrongdoing in launching the Russia investigation. My next guest is one of the central figures in all of this. He is former Trump campaign foreign policy advisor Carter Page. And Carter, it's wonderful to have you this morning.
Great to be with you,
Thanks so much for joining us. You have an esteemed career. I want to start there because our viewers know that we've covered this story very effectively from the get-go, poking holes in this whole idea of collusion, poking holes in the FISA court situation. But you have worked with the government for a long time before they actually turned on you. Tell me your career as a government informant before you were, after you worked at the Pentagon and then after you were in the Navy. Tell us about it. You've been what?
Well, I got out of the Navy in '98, and I was on a research fellowship at a foreign policy think tank, and that was actually the first time as a civilian. As you mentioned, I spent a lot of time doing intelligence tasks in the military, but that was the first time when I actually did stuff as a civilian. And so one of the guys I worked closely with was Chris Stevens, who was the Iran desk officer at the State Department in '98 to '99, and we had a long, ongoing dialogue, and so a lot of similarities between what happened with him and the lack of responsibility by these Democrat administrations. That was during the Clinton administration, but the loss of his life was really a continuation of that.
So the bottom line is you've worked as a government informant for what, 2 decades?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And somewhere along the lines, they obviously turned on you because they wiretapped you. Yeah. Fast forward to 2013 or so when you are an informant for the government about a spy ring in New York involving 3 Russians.
Yeah. Well, listen, it was something where there was a lot. They did an indictment. I spent time with the FBI in 2013, giving them all the information they needed.
And this is under the Obama administration.
It was under the Obama administration, and then a number of top officials, Attorney General Holder, U.S. Attorney Preet Bharara, and then John Carlin in January of 2015. A year before the start of the when I joined I was a volunteer on the Trump campaign. They had this indictment, and it was just
indictment of the 3 Russians.
Of the 3 Russians, yeah. And I was one of the main sources. I'm quote unquote male 1.
Yeah, that's interesting because you were male 1, and we're looking at a timeline here. In 2013, you're male number 1. They indict these people, and the indictment comes down in January 2015, and they name you.
Well,
as male number 1.
Well, there's this big thing about masking and unmasking, and I was very lightly masked, and there are a lot of problems in that indictment, and they really kind of put me out on a limb.
Okay, that's what I want to ask you, because then you started getting death threats. I'm back with former Trump campaign foreign policy advisor Carter Page, and you were telling us about this case that you helped the government with. Tell me what happened in 2015 after the indictment was handed down on the Russians.
Well, really, in March of 2016, they called me in to come testify in the Southern District of New York
on
in one of the cases. Yeah. And listen, there were so many falsehoods and misrepresentations in their indictment the prior year. I said, I am not going to lie in court. Similar to the false court filings which the DOJ and the FBI had submitted in this case. And so, it was a long back and forth with them, but I told them, I am a man of my word, and I'm not going to, provide false testimony like they've done. And very similar between the false testimony which they did in that case against the Russians, and the false testimony, which they did a few months later in October of 2016 with their the start of the FISA abuse.
So you never actually testified in the spy ring circus, in terms of that. But this all goes to government informants. You could also look at Patrick Byrne from Overstock.com, right?
Yeah. Well, it's basically the government taking control of people's lives, right? You look. I mean, I've lost tens or hundreds of millions of dollars, and he lost a couple $100 million off his market cap just based on these falsehoods.
You mean the stock lost hundreds of millions of dollars?
Yeah,
Overstock, not you.
Well, I've lost massive amounts of money.